ready for the rematch. Alverez, Kovalev, 2.
10, 5, touchdown, do the jab, go back downstairs.
10 on the shot clock.
Will Crusher show that there's one last chapter left to be written in this career.
He likes to set you up, lure you in with his defense, hands high. And he's looking, he's moving to his right because he wants to land that right hand over the jab of Kovalev.
You know, Dre, you made the point, we were talking this week. One thing to be TKO, it's another thing to be laying on your side again.
You know, any guy right now get caught cold and go down.
I feel like we see that a lot in boxing today. You know, 70s, 80s. You know, you saw guys come in, they had a nice drip. That's the way I was taught. I'm sure that's the way you were taught.
That's right.
Our trainers come from the same school. I thought, but these days you see guys come in here bone dry, and like you said, that's when you get caught in. Presence to be felt early in this fight. But as you just saw, Alvarez is still looking for that big right.
Everything from closing the gap and where he wants his feet after throwing a feint that caught my attention was when he said, don't wrestle in there, save your energy.
It's very important. You know, when you're wrestling in there, you think that it doesn't take a whole lot of energy. It does. You know, that's part of boxing, wrestling and getting in positioning.
What did you hear in the corner of Alvarez?
Mark Ramsey is very conscious of what Dre was just saying. He wants him to keep moving to his right. He wants him to feint and keep countering early in this fight.
Mark Ramsey is an excellent trainer from Montreal.
Having that stick out for a little bit long, blinded him, and he's coming around right behind it with a straight right hand.
For this fight, from the 7th round on, that's where they think they're going to earn their money.
They were trailing on the scorecards when then they hit the dynamite in that 7th round of the first fight. Then had a signature moment against Bernard Hopkins. And of course, the first go-round with Andre Ward was November 2016, and then TKO'd by Ward in 2017.
See Alvarez coming out a lot more assertive.
The legs of Kovalev here in round number 3.
To be honest with you, I think he's fine. You know what I mean? I tell him, don't let this guy get him round up. You got nothing to prove with nobody. Just take your time. Don't look for the knockout. Keep it basic.
You're strong, you can punch, but don't look for it. But it was never an issue. When you have some mishaps, now you're forced to go back and work on the aspects of your game that you didn't in the first place.
28 knockouts among his 32 wins.
You got to be careful. Alvarez can have a right hand waiting on him, setting the trap on him.
End of 3, a chance to hear what Mark Riegel and Max Kellerman have to say for that. Over Alvarez.
Like I said in the beginning, Alvarez is a natural counterpuncher, so he likes to wait. He don't mind waiting. He's trying to set a trap.
Of simply just touching.
Let's look at the pace. I mean, Alvarez is not pushing the pace at all. He's not putting pressure on Kovalev. Kovalev, he's allowing Kovalev to do whatever he wants to do.
He's watching Kovalev drop that left hand, time in and time out. And I guarantee you, somewhere around midway point in this fight, maybe the 7th, 8th round, he's going to try to come over the top with another big right hand. Good uppercut from Kovalev right there. So, you know, never comes.
Never comes. But I like Kovalev just letting his hands go. And what that's allowing him to do for Alvarez, just working his hands a little bit and then occasionally come around the guard. I like that sneaky right hand on the ear.
Shot, to your point, Jim, of getting around the guard. Kovalev having a good finish here to round number 4. His best work so far.
Book.
Sliding a nice right hand over the top of Alvarez's jab. Now Alvarez is doing exactly what he needs to do.
What we see here from Kovalev is not the imprint of Buddy McGirt from a physical standpoint, from trying to reteach the offensive game of Kovalev. It's mental, it's psychological. Buddy knew he only had a limited amount of time with Kovalev. I have to convince him that he doesn't have to load up on all his shots. He can box and still get to the finish line, which is ultimately the knockout.
Kovalev doubles up with the left, comes back with the right hand.
I did not land it flush, but it definitely got Alvarez's attention. Kovalev coming forward. Anytime Kovalev lets his hands go and extend with those arms, guess what happens? Alvarez keeps those hands at home, and he comes around the guard with a beautiful right hand, a sharp right hand.
Like a familiar script as we come to the end of 5. Wants to see him work the body a little bit more. Oh, there's a right hand that comes in, and then the uppercut. So now we see how will he react.
And Kovalev was hurt with that right hand, too.
He sure was.
He was buzzed. Fatigue is now set in. I see a little bit from Kovalev. Alvarez threw that right hand right on time. It landed. Hurt Kovalev. Too close.
Rubbing up left hand to the body.
Kovalev, and he's mentioned it a lot, you know, basically every time he's lost. And Alvarez has been breathing heavy too in between rounds. I've been watching that closely.
Alvarez letting Kovalev work a little bit.
That hurt Alverez.
Yes,
Alverez is hurt right now.
Yes, it did.
Good combination from Kovalev.
But Kovalev must be careful. Don't get too greedy. Alvarez can punch, especially with that right hand. This is the right hand Alvarez is trying to land. He landed in the first fight. He just landed it right there. Kovalev actually took it well.
Round that started with Alvarez coming out and landing one of his own. He's finishing up with a turn towards Kovalev. Settled in, came back later in the round. Round number 7.
Bad intentions. I don't know why it took him 7 rounds to do that. As you mentioned, you saw the reaction from Sergey Kovalev.
Let's take a peek at Andre's scorecard through 6. 5 rounds to 1 for Kovalev, but not much of a puncher. Does what he does in August. Comes in feeling confident about his punch, and now we bring him this one.
Well, those are the strongest 2 knuckles. The first knuckles on the
levels of punchers. All punchers are not created the same. He's a big kid. He's 35 years old. He can hurt you if he hits you right. So I wasn't extremely surprised at what he did with Kovalev. The way he did it surprised a lot of people. But again, if you watched him, you could tell he had some pop behind his punch.
As he shows there with Kevin Mark and Max. We have seen Alverez take those steps forward and come with more offense as he comes out here and meets him right in the center of the ring and fires off the body.
He must still be careful. You know, he can't allow himself to make mistakes. And when fatigue sets in, you know, Dre, you got to stay behind your technique.
Both guys had a role to play in this rematch. Kovalev wanted to convince Alvarez that the first fight was a fluke. Alvarez wanted to convince Kovalev that the first fight was not a fluke and that it's time for Kovalev to move on.
It will be very impactful.
Alvarez is speaking nice little overhand right. See, Kovalev took it well. All it took was 1 shot in the first fight.
Listen, I don't speak French, but I know what a trainer's imploring his fighter to work more, to get out of spots, to take advantage, and to be on the offensive halfway through round number 9.
Yep. Single shot, it may or may not land, but it may not be enough to get it done tonight. My question to Alvarez is, if Kovalev is hitting you, why don't you want to hit him back? If you're going to lose your title going down swinging. Why would you give it away like this?
This is a better looking and fresher looking version of what you would expect in round number 9 out of Kovalev. Touching him. It's work.
It looks like the fresher drive, Dre.
Kovalev. Once again,
it's all mental from here on out.
2 punches from Alvarez to the body, and then he poses for the rest of the round and allows Kovalev to do whatever he wants to do. This is what you see when a seasoned former fighter who's now a trainer brings old school to the new school.
And now Sergey Kovalev here in the final minute of round 10 is adding to it. Posted and Gilberto Ramirez, the super middleweight champion, announcing that he's moving up to 175 to join that crowd.
Picked Kovalev on points. I thought he was crazy. He may be right. He is crazy.
I said it. 80% of Kovalev he's going to beat. He's going to beat him. And he's not over yet. He's not over yet.
So far, Tim, you're looking like you were right.
Regressed. But here now, final minutes, round number 11. Can he land that right hand that hit the jackpot back in summer?
I truly felt like Alverez is going to be tougher as a hungry champion versus a hungry challenger.
Telling him the right things.
Nice response with that double jab there after Alvarez threw the right hand.
To the temple, he's landed some big right hands to the chin, and Kovalev has answered every single time and taken the play away from Alvarez, which I think has allowed him to box and allowed him to maintain control of this fight.
Stay in control, he says. He's coming out rough. Let's see if Alvarez does.
Take 8 weeks, 12 weeks. It takes 6 weeks sometimes. But you have the experience, and that's what Kovalev has. He has experience to be able to go the distance.
My godfather and my coach Virgil to say, listen, son, you're fine. Hey, we just went 12 rounds yesterday. Take the day off. You need that. Kovalev has gotten that from Buddy McGirt as he's putting both hands on Alvarez right now. And again, Alvarez has no answer.
Gained the light heavyweight championship belt that he lost.
That's hard to defend against right there. Those short, jolting, straight shots from Kovalev, first placement. Good shot from Alvarez.
Right hand from Kovalev. Another right hand gets around the guard from Sergey Kovalev. Up on his toes, darting in and out, boxing beautifully, volume punching, utilizing the jab, scoring with the right hands. What a performance by the former champ.
All three in favor of the winner, regaining his title, now the three-time WBO light heavyweight champion of the world, Sergey Kovalev.